What did you do for your senior culminating project?
I went to France for a month as an exchange student, and I stayed with a family, and then a French girl came and stayed with me for a month.
For my project, I organized and held a class where I educated senior citizens about social media technologies.
And future environmental impacts and stuff. It was really cool. Cool.
Well, I did a couple of things. I was an intern on a political campaign for Congress, and I made a pamphlet of Obama and Romney, and I registered most of the senior class to vote.
For my senior project, I shadowed my mom. She's a real estate agent, and kind of just wanted to get more of the business aspect of it rather than the selling houses part, because I think when I go to college I'm going to major in business.
So how did you decide what you wanted to do?
My decision was made pretty easily because I got nominated to attend this conference, and Ms. Christensen had just presented about senior projects and how we should do them early, and my conference was in the summer, so it all just kind of worked perfectly together, so I was lucky.
Well, I know that my mom is a really successful businesswoman, and since I want to go into business, I couldn't really think of anyone better to work with than her. So when we got our talk from Ms. Christensen about senior project, that was like the first thing that popped into my mind, was to work with my mom so I can learn more about business and learn things that will help me for my future.
I decided that I wanted to help out the senior citizens because my grandma has always called me with questions about how to use Facebook and email, and it was just something that I was interested in, something that I was passionate about, so I wanted to pursue it and kind of explore it. And it was going along with things that I want to do for a career, like education and working with people, so I got to exercise those skills as well as explore like current issues and stuff.
Well, I always had wanted to do an exchange, and then so I just applied for an exchange, and then I thought that would be a good project.
Well, I already had an internship on the campaign, so I waited until I got it approved, and then I started using hours from that, and then I just kind of blossomed from there and made the pamphlet and registered kids to vote.
Why did you decide to complete the project over the summer?
Well, I applied for the exchange before in the fall, because that's when you have to apply for that exchange. And then when we learned about the being able to do it in the summer, I decided that that would be a good way to do it. And also, it's just better to have it out of the way and not do it.
It was kind of just a jump into it. I didn't really think about the effects that I would have from it, but it was definitely one of the best decisions I ever made in my entire high school career.
I chose to do the project over the summer because my grandma was a big helper during the project, and she's only available in the summers because they go to Arizona in the winter. So it just worked out that I could hold the class and interact with her a lot and be around her instead of doing it in the winter when they were away.
Well, I already had an internship, so I used that for a while, and I knew that I was going to be super busy with college apps and everything. So over the summer was definitely a good choice.
Actually, the conference itself took place during the summer, so that was kind of my deciding factor, but it turned out to be a blessing in disguise because it was really great that I got to finish it early.
You don't realize how busy you're going to be senior year with getting all your requirements finished, and once I got it done, I felt so good, and I just knew that the rest of the year was going to be a breeze, and now my friends are struggling with completing their hours, and I just get to sit back and just be like, yeah, I already got that done. Just kind of a smug feeling, but it's kind of funny at the same time.
Can you tell us what you learned while doing this project about yourself, others, the project, or your topic?
Something I got out of this project was getting to do a lot of research around the issue, which was kind of developing the use of social media and how it's affecting today's youth as opposed to older generations. So I got to do a lot of research around that, which was really interesting, and I can educate myself.
What I learned was actually kind of surprising. I learned that I don't want to be a real estate agent, which is not really what I thought I would get from it, but I definitely learned that I like working with people, and something I enjoy.
Well, I definitely learned that I want to be a political campaign manager when I grow up, because I had a lot of fun campaign that I worked with was all women, so it was fun to work with all the women.
Finishing things early is great, especially like senior year. Like now I can see how much easier my life has been that I haven't had to worry about that on top of the thousands of other things.
I learned a lot about like French culture, and I learned like some time management stuff, like to do my hours, logs, like, over time and not just leave them.
I learned that travel is definitely something that I want to do a lot more in the future, and I learned that there's a lot of real world issues that need attention and that the youth are really who need to solve them.
I learned that this project is really manageable if you are able to break it into sections and get it done when you, like, with the check-offs, if you get your hours done at each check-off, it's really easy to do. And as long as you don't push everything till the very end and you're, like, freaking out, then it's an easy project to finish.
What advice would you give to next year's seniors?
I would say to log your hours as you go along and not procrastinate. You say you're not going to do it, but you end up doing it.
Definitely start in the summer. That was definitely the easiest way to go.
To do it in the summer, because then it's like good to not have to do it.
You should do your project in the summer because as senior year rolls around and college apps start coming, it's just a whole nother burden to have to deal with throughout the school year.
Do their project over the summer because once you get it done the next year and it's like October and you present and everything and you have it all completed, you feel really good, especially if you have all the other check-offs like I did. So once that was the last step for my requirements for me, so once I got that done, it was an amazing feeling and I knew that graduation was just the next step. So I would definitely recommend doing it over the summer while you have time and you're not stressed out.
Do your hours as you go.
Just make sure that you have it all planned out and like make a timeline where you can just like physically see everything and check things off, so it's all visual and not all in your head.
If you think you're not going to be busy, you will be busy.
People say that senior year is a breeze, and it's not true. There's a lot of work with college apps and like just homework.
Choose something you definitely love because you're spending a lot of time doing it.
Do something that you love and something that you're passionate about, and most importantly something that you can see yourself doing in the future, because you don't want to spend time, a lot of time, especially with this project, on something that you're not interested in at all, because you're dedicating a lot of time and effort into this, and if you're learning about something that you really don't care about, then it's kind of pointless.
So have fun with it.